Hey there, everyone. This is Brandy J. It's my pleasure. My pleasure to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This I planned. I think a few hours today. I wanted to stop in and stop by. I just had some stuff on my mind, and I said, "What can we talk to the people about?" And I said, "The social media experience. Y'all can just hang out with me, right? Because I'm gonna have to get up in a minute and run into the kitchen. I gotta grab something from the kitchen. But yeah, thank you for if you're listening. Thank you so much. If you're not, thank you so much. And if you're a peeker that just like to peek and not show, then that's weird. Don't be a peeker because everything makes me think stuff. What's wrong with you? Can't be creepy like that these days anymore. You know, as I said, anymore. Don't be creepy anymore. You know, people take it the wrong way. Sometimes we should because people are getting weirder and weirder in this world today. So don't be a creeper. Like you're come in and come in. If you're not, stay out. But don't be a creeper. Because then I'm gonna think you're a weirdo. And I don't want you to be a weirdo. Right? Not a creeper. Just come on in. So let me switch this page over here. Let's see. So I can be able to see anybody, anything. Sometimes I forget to do that. There we go. I think that's what I'm supposed to. I don't know. I need to just stop sometimes. Just stop it, Randy. All right. So yeah. So if I happen to get up at any moment, I mean, I'll give you a warning. I'm not just gonna get up and not trying to see what side my ponytail should be on. Should have did that before, huh? But yeah, I do have to go to the kitchen for a minute. But yeah, so like on my live and my Instagram, I just got through talking about safety and like your surroundings and things like that. Because when I walk to the store, this guy. Okay, I don't know if I got to that part where the man or my intuition that kicked in and I just like turned around. Mind you, it was daytime, and he was like behind me. Like you were behind me, he was behind me. Because when I walked past him, I was like, he was going that way. I'm going this way. I hit the corner because I'm going to the store, and I can hear him going, "Hey, hey," and I kept going. First of all, that ain't my name. Second of all, I got shit to do. I'm headed to the store. I come out here to socialize. I don't ever go outside and socialize. When I come out the house, trust me, I'm point A to point B. I don't go outside to linger around. Like I'm in the house or somewhere. I'm in the house. I'm in the house. So I keep going. I don't pay attention, and then some tells me that closer I get to the store across the street, my mind just says turn around. Like, turn around. See him like way back, but you can tell I surprised him. I could tell because he kind of walks off to the side. He's still in view, but it's like if he was walking off to the side, and I just look at him because I be looking at people crazy. You got to give them that crazy like, what's some of this? You have to. Don't be looking all scary and shit. That's what they look for. You look right at them like, you following me, motherfucker? I've had that happen to me before. Let me tell you. But then but I have my phone, so I'm on my phone, looking at my phone, like talking on it. But at that time, I wasn't on it. But I'm like, yeah, yeah, and I'll hold my phone up too, but like, looking around, like, see, like I'm saying, like, yeah, look at that over there, look at him. And so I get to the in front of the store, and I take my umbrella, and I shake it. And I look over to the side, and I see him go to the stoplight. And I look right over at him, right? Not going to the store, but be very mindful because people are weird. If you somebody like that, don't do that shit. Even if you're curious to know who she is, nobody likes that shit. You're a fucking weirdo. Do not follow people just because you found them to be cute. Because you don't know what. First of all, you lost all bets when you did it in the first place. I don't care if you was curious to see which way they was going, so you could meet them again because you thought she was the beautifulest thing in the world. At that point, it's done. It's a wrap. You're a weirdo. Don't follow people. If they are following you, please, they are a weirdo. But look around, because people do. I'm telling you, you got to stay on your P's and Q's at all times. People these days, they don't care. Daytime. I mean, for goodness sakes. I mean, so many things you can't even do. You have to tell your children. If you're not having these talks with your kids, then whatever the fuck you're doing, excuse my language, for extracurriculum, you need to stop. Because what's going on these days? You know what I mean? Like if somebody comes to you and says, "Smell." Remember back in the day when you could smell some perfume, when somebody was selling some perfume? Well, okay, let's put it on your wrist. Yeah, you know what I mean? Can't do that no more. I would advise you not to do that. If you didn't know, now you know. But if you want to be stupid, go ahead and do it. That's your choice. But I'm telling you, that shit right there, 9 times out of 10, if you want to take your chances, if they tell you to smell some perfume, you're going to pass the fuck out. And they're going to try to take you. Because that's what's been going on lately. Mm-hmm. I don't accept cards anymore from people, like touching business cards. No. I will not. I'm thinking I'm good. Because they put shit on that. Now, if you want to be one of those people who say, what's the chance? It's a very high chance. I don't care how low it was. It's a chance. If your dumbass want to take the chance, go right ahead. What I'm telling you is, be mindful. I sit here and talking to people, and they be laughing and stuff like that. Like, it's okay. Like, surrounding around. Yeah, that's what I feel like. And I say it sometimes in my head. And don't say it out loud, because I'm not, like, trying to hurt people's feelings. But I really be thinking I'm surrounded around idiots sometimes. Because I'm like, bro, like, the things that people laugh at or find immature, or when people are aware or educate themselves, and especially in the Black community, and we just think shit is a joke. I can't be around people like that. It turns me off, makes me itch. It does. I'm like, I can't be around stupid people, because I'm like, this is real out here. Like cards, like inform yourself and then tell somebody else. Some people be like, okay, what do you think? I could tell. I don't care how old you are. It doesn't mean, just because somebody is a grown person, don't mean they got it all up here. It doesn't mean that they're smart. It doesn't mean that they do responsible. Because have a conversation with people. It will blow your mind how over incompetent, and they think it'll blow your mind. I'm gonna need you to look up this word, the Dunning-Kruger effect. You look it up. It's one of my favorite words that I learned like 3 years ago. Dunning-Kruger effect. No, it has nothing to do with Freddy Krueger. You gotta explain that stuff these days to people, because. But no, for real, be mindful. Have these talks with your kids, right? Like picking up cards and stuff. Like I don't do that shit anymore. The cards just like this. Like you see, you go to your car, you be like, oh, what's this? Don't touch that shit. Matter of fact, leave it there. Hop in the car. Don't look under, because most likely they want you to grab the card, right? Or be off guard, right? Or grab it, get in that shit, and they're gonna follow you because they expect you to pass out. You see a Bible on your car or a book, of course you're gonna think, what the hell is this? Leave that shit there. Hop in the car. We're to drive somewhere safe, because that shit's on your car for a reason. You gotta think like, well, that's odd. That's weird. Yeah, it is, isn't it? So you might want to get the fuck out of there. See what I'm saying? Things don't seem right. Don't just blow it off. It's not right. But don't touch it. Yeah, you have to walk around here thinking like that, right? I was even told this, and this I've always been like this, but I was even told this by I had him on my show. To this day, people are still watching that show. Sean Amrich. He's in the Army, military. If you go on, I think it's my YouTube or the Real Wise YouTube, it should be like one of my first videos that'll pop up. Not my first video like ever. But the things he talks about, his experience being in the military, right? And it's very rare that people experience war, mind you. You should really listen to this. Very rare that when people in the military, that very small percentage to actually go to war, right? So he was talking about his experiences. Actually, like I'm listening to this dude, just like I'm envisioning, because I have very vivid. I'm the type of person that can see pictures in my mind, like just by listening to a story. I don't even actually have to see them. Create pictures automatically in my mind. So I'm seeing this like a movie in my head. I'm like, the fuck? Like from grabbing heads and having to walk, like it's got so scripted, and you know what I mean? The things you have to experience it. Just from listening, I already knew. You know how they talk about PTSD and stuff like that? I already knew. You don't have to tell me. I don't have to be like, so do you suffer from PTSD? I already know, right? I'm looking in his eyes. Like I could feel it, because you can't experience something like that in life. not have it affect you, right? So then he went to tell me towards the end. So I'm gonna watch it again just so I can remember what he told me at the end. But he was very, just calm about it, and really just because this is what he does. He's used to it. He said, speak nice, be kind to everybody. You see people say hello, but be ready. And then he just said, like, but just be ready to kill them at all times or something. He said, I was like, but it registered with me. I got it, but then it was like, whoa. You know what I mean? Because that's his mind, because that's what he's used to. But I say that because you just have to be a thinker. Like, you have to know. Like, okay, they got pedophiles. Where would they be likely to hang out? Parks. So just be aware when you take kids to the park, but just be aware of everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, you get people that are saying, like, oh, you worry too much. Oh, you're this. And, oh, you're going to be the next on TV, like you saw over on the news last night, even though that's some bullshit, too, because they only show us what they want us to see. Do you know that that's not the only? There's thousands of more shit happening out here than the news is ever going to show you. Right? As traumatizing as it is, I don't deal with the media because the propaganda, their intentions aren't very sincere. But yeah. So it's crazy, the stuff that goes on out here. But the fentanyl, the zip ties in the car, the napkins in the car door, it's just like people are way. And to me, I just feel like this is happening. The devil's working. If you didn't think he was, he is. The biggest lie he ever told was make you believe that he wasn't real. Because for you people that think that there's no God, you better hope there is. Because if this is what the shit looks like without one, then you might want to rethink some shit. You better hope there is if you don't think there is. But see, the thing is, if there isn't in your world, then please explain this. Please explain everything to us, how this all happens to be. Because either way it goes, none of us truly really know, right? But we like to waste time arguing about things versus working together, right? So I don't know what to tell people sometimes. It's like I can only do so much. I do me, right? I share from here and there. I only deal with, I don't just deal with anybody and everybody, right? When it comes to my space. Yep. Yeah, my mind just got stuck on some for a minute I was just thinking about earlier today because I was like, right here, right when today, because I don't play, right? And be mindful, like when you're walking somewhere, don't walk like between like big trucks or like vans and stuff, but you pay attention. And if you somebody looking suspicious and stuff, you look right, better look at that shit, you know what I mean? Like look them in the eye, let them know it's gonna be problems. Come around these parts, right? Don't always be looking at your phone and stuff. Like for real. Like the other day, right? And I'm telling you, this is so freaking real. That's why when I hear this dumb shit, like on Clubhouse, on these other places where these men find these rooms because they want to talk about women because they're mad because they're on this Kevin Samuel shit, rest in peace. Because women are here, they want money, not everybody does that, okay? Get over it. When you're on social media and you're bashing women, you only had a certain amount of time. Now let's move on. Same thing for black women. Stop telling black women to segregate from the black men. What's that about? Get off social media. Get some healing. You have children that listen, that they can be affected from your thinking. But yeah, that's just bothersome because I'm like, you got these young black girls coming in missing. No one's talking about it. And shit like then you gotta hear shit like that. And you just be like, you could find anything better to fucking do, right? I know you don't have a relationship with God because you can't tell me somebody got a relationship with God and go off and act that way. That's why I said going to church don't mean you got a relationship with God. That's the place you go. I've been to church. I used to go. I can sense the energy. I'm like, you seem like you don't want to be here. You know what I mean? Like this is a job. So I can sense people's energies when it's not supposed to be a stay. Trust me, I know. That's the thing that led me up out of there was the energies, and something wasn't right. Then I started to teach myself more and shake it off and let the world tell me, oh, you're crazy. You know what I mean? Because we want to keep saying people are crazy. We can definitely talk about crazy. After I'm done, you might want to rethink that word. Yes, that goes for you people that keep throwing that word around to Mr. West. I mean, it's tacky. You need to be ashamed of yourself because there are people with mental health issues out here. And when people go around saying, "Oh, he's crazy," if you let me get on this for a minute. Let me fix my bun because this isn't working out for me. Chill this. Chill like Ti is because this shit right here has been annoying me. For you people, let me crack my neck real quick. Get ready. All right. So there's okay. I'm just so ashamed of some people. And if you didn't know before what you think you would have, you're gonna know now. I don't care who you're talking to. When you use that word, the way you use it, everybody comes on. Oh, I know what it is. He's crazy. First of all, I'm gonna tell you what crazy is in a minute. And no, I meant every word of it. Understand? When you use that word as tacky as it sounds, because first of all, let me tell you how people are. And this calls me everybody that does that shit. I'm talking to you. Stop using that word. Because if you didn't know he had mental health problems, you wouldn't have said that shit. I don't like people like you. When you find out something about you, oh, he's crazy. First of all, you crazy for getting on here and saying that shit. There are people out here that have mental health issues. And when you say that, you make it seem as if something's wrong with them. Nothing's wrong if they have mental health issues, as you do, apparently, and some educational issues too. And you make it more hard for them to get the help they need because either they're going to close up or people are going to look at people like that and they're not going to want to help them. And they're going to think something's wrong with them. And so when somebody does try to get help, people aren't going to believe them because they can say, oh, you're crazy. That's tacky. And even tackier is that when you use that word against someone, he already told you, he hid that shit from you. You know how like when you tell somebody doesn't know anything about you, but when they find out, oh, he's crazy, that's what they use, right? That's exactly these people that do that shit. Yep. I spotted it right away. I said, oh, these some weak ass ones. Sorry. And all of them was bitter and angry. Like, you don't even know him. He did nothing to you. Whatever he's got going, is it affecting you? Because you should be able to sit back and use your critical thinking. And people that don't know how to critical think, the ones that get emotional, they use name calling. I know this for a fact because I am very versed in critical thinking, and I know half of us don't have it because it has to be a skill that you're taught. It's skills, it's all kind of parts. It's a lot that goes to it, and it was removed out of the school system for a fact. I was a teacher, and John D. Rockefeller took that shit out and created the world we live in today, the dumbed down society. So please don't try to sell me the bullshit. I read, and I'm telling you right now, that shit's tacky when you do it to anybody, when you just use that word, throw it around, crazy. Because if you want to talk about crazy, he's crazy. What's crazy? I don't know. There's only words you can come up with. Or what's, because you don't understand. That's what I'm saying. People, I might not even understand, but I do know how to realize if I don't understand something. And if I'm trying to understand something, because you might as well try or get the fuck offline. You can't say you don't care because you're sitting there listening and watching it. So you might as well try to educate yourself instead of hopping on there to judge somebody that you don't know. You have nothing else better to do, but that's the conclusion you come to. Man, Lord, I'm telling you, a lot of people are going to have a surprise. For me, I use my thinking mind. I'm like, wonder what's going on here. I try to decipher through it because obviously something's going on there. But when people don't understand, that's what they do. They start to name call, they get uncomfortable. And I don't get why people get uncomfortable. It's really weird to me why people get so bothered. It's weird. But then I realize something's going on within. That's why this is a spiritual warfare. And people, this shit is bringing shit out of people, like left and right. These whole last 2-3 years, I've seen people just be revealed like a different person. I used to think some people were just very like highly intelligent, so respectful. And I'm just like, ding dong, he went home. And just that and just different things. Like I read it coming out, people being exposed. And now we're in the time of Aquarius. Information, if you haven't realized that this information is because some people are just not in tune, you know what I mean, or just be like lost in the headlights. That's fine and all. But I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on this. What I realized, and it led me back to me being correct as far as I've always felt like when people don't hold themselves accountable for anything, that will require you to work on yourself at all times and be honest with yourself, as we all should. And you don't, and then you always hop in the line to talk about somebody else, to judge somebody else, to get on a talk show or a podcast and be critiquing the other people. And I'd be like, you want to start yourself. But it'll only make sense because then when you do that, you have to ask yourself, you have to question your own beliefs, all that stuff. That's why I ask people like, who creates your belief system? Just asking, right? Because I'm very in tune. I always I'm not scared to be with myself. I love being with myself. Some people don't know how to be alone. I need it. I'm one of those personality types where I love being around people, but I love my me time. You know what I mean? That's why I'm very easy to be around because I'm around myself. Some people that don't like being by themselves, they gotta be around people. Like those are the worst people sometimes to be around because they get on their own damn nerves, right? So, but if you lie to yourself, you're like, damn, lie to yourself, some work to do there. But it's okay. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's okay to say you don't know. It's okay to know you want to grow. It's okay to actually just, okay, everything's okay. But it's got to be okay with you first. You shouldn't seek validation from someone else. You shouldn't be trying to give anything without, checking in with you. Because the way this world is designed, it's designed to tell us we're crazy and everybody else knows more than us. Like, it tells you to look outer, go to the therapist, go there. Okay, they're fine and dandy and all, but if I can't check in with me, have to tell me to even go over there, okay? Because first of all, if I just fall for that all the time, I'm willing to just take some information that might not be conducive. So I got to check in with me first, right? Before I can go over and sit and talk to you, because you can tell me any motherfucking thing. Example, let me give you. Every time, usually they say that anxiety and depression go together, right? I don't know what that means, right? But they can trick you into thinking it goes together just by telling you that. I remember years ago, I went to go talk to someone, and this was my choice, right? I brought it up because I was just like, I had enough, right? I had the mind to say I want to go talk to somebody, right? And there was that incident, and that one was weird because I trusted somebody to take me to go, and then they was an idiot and getting work done. But I still had this anxiety, like I wanted to deal with it, right? But I think it came about more when I went to the doctor and they took my blood pressure because high blood pressure runs in my family, and then I were talking about it, and then found out that I had anxiety. Oh, okay, cool. That was it. But that being said, because when you get diagnosed, you get a therapist and a psychiatrist, right? These are facts because therapists can't prescribe you medication. Only the psychiatrist. That's what they give you, psychiatrist. You're never really going to talk to psychiatrist. You're going to have you in and out. You're going to talk to the therapist. But to get your medication, you're going to need to talk to the therapist so she can tell the psychiatrist. See what I'm saying? So you can get your medication. Even though I preferred to talk to psychiatrists, I really liked them. They always had to go. So yeah, that being said, prior to that, they had told me, well, if you have that anxiety, you most likely have depression. I was like, oh, I do, huh? Okay. To sum up where I'm going with this, I was like, why is that? But over the years, I couldn't even tell you what it was because I had fused those two together. And so I've always thought sometimes I just get away, right? And I would tell people I would feel these ways sometimes. I'd be like, yeah, if I start to act away, don't worry about it. I just get like this sometimes. My anxiety, my depression, my anxiety. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know why. And I'll just sit and just deal with it, right? And after a while, I didn't take medicine anymore anyway, even though the one for anxiety really worked. It really worked for me because I did have anxiety, and there was things for me that I did not need in my life that contributed to it, like watching stupid ass news. Because growing up, my family used to watch early in the morning, all that stuff. So I knew all my triggers. So certain things I wouldn't do, even just stuff like that. And because I'm really mellow, right? And so I'm the type of person that can enjoy a nice walk to the store, enjoy a bus ride, or something where I can just put my headphones on, look out the window, go to the beach, go for a walk. That's me. That's peace for me. Go to the waterfront, you know? or if I'm from going from A to B or somewhere, enjoy that time, that space in between getting there, And so the last time I went, when I was getting, because I had a different kind. I took myself. I just take lorazepam. I didn't want that anymore because that helped me to sleep. But I told the doctor I didn't want that because that one was more like controlled. I didn't want that. And then they tried me on something that was not narcotic or whatever like that. And I was like, cool, that was working. They wanted to give me a stronger one. I was like, no, I got shit to do. I don't know why they wanted to give me a stronger one. Forgot to add. I have an OCD, right? And we didn't get to work on that. I'll talk to you guys about that in a minute. A whole different ballpark, right? So with this being said, with this here, I focus more. So I fused those two together, right? Now, before this part, I stopped taking medicine. The reason why, it wasn't intentional at first. It was because I was working and I wasn't covered, right? As far as being able to pay for the medicine, right? And my sister, she's pharmacy tech. She's like, you need to get your medicine. Like, I can't. So mentally, and that's what I'm telling you, the mind is strong. You can do anything, if you know how powerful your mind is. I'm telling you, if your mind can make your legs move, your brain talks to your legs, you got to really think about it. Things that your mind, that's why it's always an attack on your mind, right? So I knew I was going to have to get through this. I was like, I used to always think, right? I don't want to have to depend on this because what if there's a time I don't have it? Then what am I going to do? Because I used to work with kids that used to need their medicines for like ADHD and stuff. And the teachers, and they'd come to school and they'd be a different person. Or sometimes the teacher would be like, well, you got to call mom and he can't come back here until they get their medicine. Right? And you just see them going through it. Like you imagine you going through it because they're going through it. You imagine what's going through their head. Keep putting them on that shit, taking them off. So me, I just told my brain, I had no choice. First of all, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? So I was very realistic with myself. And then I just lived as I usually would. But I didn't let my mind just control my everything. You know what I mean? Just like lose it. I was like, realistically, anymore. Just got to deal with it. Get up every day. Get God thanks. He'll get me through it. That was God. And that was me being probably never needed it in the fucking first place. But realizing that I did have a problem with anxiety and needed to find a way to deal with it. I don't know about that depression shit because I had a guest on my show that we're talking about perception and everything. And then by the time we was done for the 2 times, because I had him on my show, I was a wholly different person. I was like, let me see here. I used to go to therapy, to medicine. That shit didn't work. But I sat down with a whole guest of mine. He just gave me a different way of thinking. Now, I'm not going to suggest that some people need their medicine. Trust me. Because there's different mental health issues and different, the severity levels are different, right? But for me, I was able to look at it differently. So when I started to feel these things, I automatically know, like, okay, here it comes. Let me figure out what's going on to trigger this versus just falling into it and letting my mind just tell my body this is what it is, if that makes sense to you at all, right? So, but yeah. So being able to be real with yourself and check in with yourself and understand yourself is very important. Very, very important. And so as of now, I know I don't take any medicine for anything. I don't like taking things for, I ain't gonna lie to you. The medicine I used to take for anxiety, whew, man. And it was like natural. It wasn't like the lorazepam. It wasn't like, because that's controlled, right? And I had told my doctor at the time, I said that one right there, I only use for like when it helps me go to sleep. Because sometimes I'd sit up, I'd be laying down, I wake up just thinking about stuff, like worrying about stuff. But I didn't want to rely on it because I never abused my medication because for what? But at the same time, I don't even like taking medicine. I don't like taking pills and stuff. Diagnosed with, my family has high blood pressure and stuff, But I try more of trying to maybe mental, like be more like healthy, like mental, as far as like your mental health and as far as even like how you think towards yourself or how you think towards others, how you perceive life. It's all part of like your mental health, right? Now, when it comes to food, I'm not gonna say I'm like the best, but I'm very aware. But I'm not like some person like I can't do that. But I don't fuck with meat like that no more. I had lost a desire. You know what I mean? So I'm not sitting here like, oh, I just want it, but I can't. I never did that shit. It's like, well, but with me, I lost a desire for a lot of food over these few years because of uh I think it happened for a reason. Some shit just wasn't. You just know when some stuff ain't right, and so that has happened. Eating a lot of certain stuff that's not being consumed because everything we put in our body definitely is affecting this. You have to imagine. I don't know why people are surprised that people would all be okay or what's going on around us. What are you putting in your body? It's not rocket scientists. If you really sit back and think about it, can you really be surprised that people are walking around here doing the oddest shit? Crazy stuff. With that word crazy. Now that there's some crazy shit out here, I'll tell you. But are you really surprised? Everything you put in your body goes to your brain. But we don't think about it. So all right. Think about it a little bit more. Expose yourself to some truths and stop saying that ain't real. Before you say that, go look research first, then come back. Don't just say that shit just to say it. Uh, People share information, but you'll believe some other stuff that you know what I mean. It's like crazy to me. Um, the things that we give our children goes. So if you think about it, McDonald's is in their brain. 20. That's nasty. Tell you can't go eat that shit like that. You're gonna fuck yourself up. Imagine all that grease, and then what are you eating? You think you're eating a cow? I mean, do you even know? But all the time? All right, okay. But this is the other problem. Just because I'm gonna leave it alone. A lot of people they don't. Why we are sick? I ain't leaving that meat alone. I'm sorry, I love my meat. Okay, fine, but stop asking motherfuckers where these diseases come from. Shit, you know what I mean? Like, we eat. How else we get there? Yeah, come here. Like, come on. If you don't want to change it and you make excuses for I'm not stopping that. I don't care for what you do, to be honest with you. I know what I'm going to do. But can you please stop playing stupid here? You'd be surprised if you open your cabinet, take everything out, read the back of it. I know you haven't. I know it's for a fact. Don't sit here and lie to me. Because that shit wouldn't be in your cabinet anymore if you did. Read that shit. And half of it you're not going to be able to understand. So put it in the computer. Don't just go to Google. And please put, if you're somebody that goes to Google for research, be like, hold on. It says, don't call me no more. And I mean this. Google is not reliable freaking research. You can use it and use it as a reference. Push Google, put it to the side, and do 5 other different searches somewhere else. Then come call me. I don't understand when people go to Google. Like, who do you think programs these? Google's not going to tell you what you need to know. She might tell you some different stuff, so you might want to reference check. Okay? Google. And then they change definitions and shit all the time. So if you're looking for definitions, please don't pull up the first one. You might want to get an authentic book. Go back to maybe 3, 5, 4 years ago with that definition and then reference it to this one so you can get on the same page with the person that you're talking to. Because you might be like, well, it says, but they might have changed it because they do that. So back to my point, and put that shit in there and look and read it. You'll be like, and don't look at it and be like, that's not true. If you're one of those people, we'll never be friends. I know this. You're welcome. Yeah. So let's just check in with the time. Let's see where we're at. Stop kidding. Only 38 minutes? What the freak is going on here? So yeah. So like I was saying before with the what do you call that stuff? The pepper spray. Get the gel. I have like different kinds and taser. We'll talk about that next time. The gel, though, like I said, it directly shoots, right? It's gonna shoot into the because if you get the spray, the pepper spray, and say if the wind blow, you have to like use it real quick. Spray back in your eye. You're like, right? And then you just helped. Yeah. So I would strongly advise that if you were to get pepper spray, get the gel. And it's Yeah, get to jail. Safer. Much safer. Yep, 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 yep. Um, let's take a moment. Let's have a moment of silence. I don't know. I'm going to grab something out of the kitchen very, very fast. Can I get you guys anything? No? Okay. Let me know. Mi casa, su casa. 1 second, y'all. And then we'll go to the next part. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, the rain stopped. Yay. I did it. Or maybe not. Well, I thought the rain stopped, but it didn't. That's but I like to sit in the rain sometimes. It is kind of cold though. I like to like sit on my porch or listen to the rain and listen to some music. Um, yeah, but I just wanted to finish up here and say to you all, I do appreciate the people that support, been on my show or listen to my my Anchor. I can't on Anchor. You can find the subscription. Some is Voice of Courage. Some of them under subscriptions, and those there are special episodes, and you may get a snippet, but the only way you hear those ones is through a subscription. So that's on Anchor. But the Voices of Courage has switched over to the bullying edition, to where those zones will involve just bullying topics only, and then parents or families that have been affected by suicide, maybe their child or sibling, or it's usually based around just more with our youth. And if anyone has experienced, because no one really supports or sees that there's families that are affected by this too, where the child has taken their life, and then that affects their life for the rest of their lives, right? And so, just want to bring that, give support, but also bring awareness to that, you know, because a lot of things people sit by and they think they're going to hear on the news, right? And we have to be our own news a lot of times, right? So, since 2020, bullying and suicide has reached. I mean, 2020, I couldn't even believe it. How often you would hear of this. I even had friends that kept saying their children were distributing suicidal thoughts and saying they do, and and that's the whole pandemic, and just seeing what that can do to somebody, having their whole life being completely just altered and then put away in the house somewhere. How that just messed them up, and they're just kids. So you can just imagine, right? And here we are, and we throw them back out into the world, right? Just like they did this with us, right? No one put us in. You scared the life out of people, and then say, "Now get back out there and go get them." How unhealthy, how rude that was. Uh, but I said, okay, now they have to go back into the environment, deal with it, and things are different, right? But all of it together is just an overload, right? I can pay me to want to be a kid again, you know. But I tell you this much: no one and no child should have to be exposed to or left to keep getting harassed, picked on continuously. Is anyone that tells them that that's just normal. You don't need to work there anymore because it's not normal. Parents, it's not normal. Don't tell your kid, oh, that's normal. Kids do that. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, You gonna make me turn into a bully because I don't want to slap the shit out of you. That makes me mad. I'm like, don't say that. You never tell a kid that shit. You shouldn't believe that. It's nothing normal because then we normalize violence. We normalize the shit we see all the time. Like, no one should be saying any of this shit's normal because once you say it's normal, you accept it. And I'm not accepting it. So therefore, I know it's not normal. Kids don't just pop out the womb mean with each other. No, they just get stucky ass environments sometime and nobody wants to admit it or change the behavior. They teach it to the next person. Some people literally teach it to people. What's wrong with people? But it's about just doing better, doing better. If you didn't know before, if you know now, what you gonna do? You gotta do better. But it's not normal. And if you're not willing to do anything about it, I guess you got better shit to do. I don't know. But it's pretty sad. And it's a real thing. You can't, it's not always about some psychiatrist sitting down and saying, well, this is the problem. I'm going to need you to be quiet, sir, man. All due respect. But let's talk to the child because I think they know what they're going through. Because some people try to chalk it up and they never even met the person. They're like, oh, this is what really goes on with kids with suicide. No. Okay. First of all, it's not always about that. Second of all, I've worked with many, many children. They all had different situations. Why they were the bully. Usually that's the case right there. Because the person being bullied, we already know they're going to try to pick the weakest person. They always go to the person they think they can get away with it. That they will be able to get away with it, right? That's a whole other topic, which we do talk about within Bullies and Bullied No More. If you didn't know, now you know. If you didn't know, that means you don't pay attention to me, you don't follow me. So therefore, yes, Bullied and Bullied No More. And then we talk about the bystanders and all that stuff. So, yeah, very deep in it. Everybody don't know because if you can be my friend and you don't know, that means you just wasn't looking, you weren't paying attention. You got to ask yourself why I don't interest you because I don't have to be all up in your face. If you're not interested in me, we must not be that good of fucking friends. Or maybe we are. But if you're surprised, I'm going to tell you. But I got shit going on. But my reasons is not for clout or anything. I really help people. I want to help God put me here for a reason. And I love what I do. And I love me. Loving me. I love people. I love others. You know? People treat other people how they feel about themselves. So if you treat people like crap, most likely you don't like yourself. So, wait a minute. That was delicious. All right. So, yes. The bullies, right? Because it's Bullied and Bullied No More, right? Because there's a lot of support groups, support for the bully. For the bullied. What about the bully? Especially if they're a kid. They need redirection too. So this right here, as much as we've been getting into it and breaking it down and doing I do a lot of I expose myself to a lot of things to gain different perspectives and then talk to kids and then working with them. I have my own and then just reading and stuff and then just being very intuitive to different things that a person, let alone a child, would go through, that I put myself in all shoes. If I don't understand, it's not hard for me not to understand, because when you say you don't understand somebody, don't be mad at them because you don't understand. Shit, I don't understand when people do that. Well, you don't understand. Maybe you should get to understand. Right? So yeah, do that. And there's so many different reasons why you can't pinpoint it, right? Everybody thinks they know something, like this is what, like, I don't do it. No, lose that shit over here. Solutions only. And there's so many different reasons why kids bully. And they're not all the same. So many, trust me. And that's with any situation. So I remember working with in the beginning, like in 2009, I think. I had met this guy. He still comes on sometimes too. Jeremy Roderick. And then he teaches kids also self-defense, and then he helps families like he wrote a few books and stuff too that dealt with bullying. And I remember I like this one he had where it showed the difference between a child knowing if they were being bullied or if they were dealing with assault, right? So I always say, like, when it's on the school grounds and stuff, people don't realize, like, why don't people see? As soon as you put your hands on somebody, you have overstepped beyond bullying. Okay, when people are pummeling you, hitting you, and on you, and that is assault, bro. You're not being bullied; you're being assaulted. So let your kids know, so they know what's going on, right? And then accountability can be held somewhere, because should nobody be going anywhere and they just keep being exposed to same shit, and then somebody putting their hands on you physically, using their hands to violently hurt you, and nobody's, oh no, that's not bullying, honey. That's assault. They assaulted you, so it's time to, you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it needs to be talked about and looked at it that way, because it is. Somebody's hitting you, and then it makes you look at it like, well, wait, why are we handling this? Why is this continuously happening? Exactly. Zero policy, zero tolerance means zero tolerance. Don't just wait until the kids that are getting attack hits back, because at that point, what did you expect them to do, right? I've seen that happen a lot. So all I'm saying is, hmm, people shouldn't have to be exposed to these things, and who just wants to deal with a bunch of talkers all the time? Either we're going to do something about it, or we're going to create rooms and stuff just to have conversations and then don't do anything. I'm boots to the ground type of person. So a lot of times I'll be on here, or it takes me a while to post what I was doing, because I'm out in it, community. That's the type of person I am. I'm not just creating shows about it. You know, you don't have to. It doesn't take much for you to help people. You don't need to be rich. I mean, wait to that, you'll never help anyone. No, you can help people. If you're really about helping people, nothing should hold you. Money won't even be an issue. Like, all you gotta do is help. But yeah. Sorry, that was delicious. Let me recommend it. So here we have Simple Truth, plant and base cauliflower dip, Southwest Ranch. Yes, we need some dip with some doo-wop. You know, I like the hummus and all that type of stuff. So vegetables, all that. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you. I didn't see any. If there was some down here, I didn't see any. Like any messages or anything, because I tried to remember to read, somebody like leave a message or something. Trust and believe I do not be trying to be rude on purpose, because I'm not a rude person. A little straightforward, but I'm not rude. I just don't like bullshit. Yep. But before I go, I just want to give a shout out to a few people, to the Real Wise Productions, to Anthony Gonzalez, aka Poppy J. Also, don't forget to go on over to Amazon. Amazon. You know why I would love for you to go to Amazon? Because my friend has a book over there called The Plush Life, right? And you can go over there, you can check it out, see what you think. I have all of his books. I have that book in particular. I love it. And don't don't tell him, but I started something to where you can get snippets of it. Right? We used to do a show also where we do, but that was a different book. So that was on a Hers and His podcast, right? And also, you have Wise from Stuck in My Mind podcast on the Real Wise Productions. He has a show. So, okay, so check this out. Because I know sometimes I can get really, not horrible, bad at this, even with my own stuff, right? We're updating our website and my social media and all of our social media together to put up the show Poppy J and Wise that comes on every Friday on the B2. Hold on. Sorry. They have a show on Friday, every Friday. Um, yeah, Jay has the book, The Flesh Life. You can find that on Amazon. You can go to our website, and as soon as you see the book, click, 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 take you right there. That's Real Wise Productions, www.realwiseproductions.com. As for me, I have this link that I've been using to all my freshest content. It's called Through Magically. And so I just post that instead of just breaking everything down. I just give you a little bit what's going on as far as behind the mic, the new show. Voices of Courage is still going, but it's in the bullying edition. I've you can find me at Wisdom. I have all that's under my links to Wisdom, where you can find me. I do live hosting. I do a lot of that lately, more than podcasting, because I go on platforms. I've been a lot. People have pulled me in, you know what I mean, and they're giving me a platform of my own and channels and stuff. So I'm over at Wisdom. Also Mensa, that's a app based out of India. Actually, right now I'm going to say the number one going app for me. They were recommended by Forbes. Also, I would suggest you check it out. But right now, I'm going to be honest with you. At the top of the list for me is Mensa. Also, Lemur. You can go out check out Lemur. That's Limor. Now that one is you can social audio or it's not live, but you definitely can go over there. Shout out to Shane. That's the CEO creator. You can go over there and you can do not social podcasting, but content creation, right? And also at some point you can then monetize it. So it's a really cool app where you can create opportunities. Shane is always on to something next over there to create for the platform. So it's always upgrading over there. And then also Call In, they just gave some of us the beta edition where we can try video. That's a big one for me too. Also, that's social podcasting where you can go live. You can invite people. You can have different shows, and also you can create. They allow you to turn those into podcasts, which they distribute to 3 different platforms. Possibilities, opportunities on Call In. I've never seen an app like it before, so it's very, very nice and popular there. Because over there, it's a lot. You'll find a lot of different content. I should just go. You can even put it in your browser just to check it out. And just check it out, because even if you're just a listener, it's just good for someone that just wants to listen, right? It's very great content of all kinds, all type. And even if no one's on live, which you usually find at the top, there are people in the room you can go in. If you want to go up and talk, they allow you to come on up. You can to talk or host in there. You'll still find content to listen to because the live shows will become recorded shows. So I might be stopping by over there today. Eventually, very soon here, you'll see the Real Wise Productions also over there because I'm putting something together. And if you're looking for a one that is just entrepreneurial, because that's all they accept anyway, more business, not a hangout, not like a clubhouse or anything like that. It's called Halo, HAL-O. That's an app based out of India too. See, I have no India connections, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm I'm in the wrong body. Like I should totally be like Hindu woman. I was like, I know, right? Right. No, really. Shout out to in India. They always got the best platforms. I'm telling you right now, America, step your game up. Kidding. No, for real. Is there an app that helps you to stop saying because I've been working on that for years. I think it's too late. I don't think it's ever going to go away. Maybe that's just a part of me. Maybe isn't a problem. Maybe it's a problem because somebody told us it was a problem. You got to stop saying But I'm thinking, right? Like, and then like, you know what? I get it now. It's not us that's the problem. You know, people. These people that keep trying to tell us what words to say and not to say. Hmm. That's a whole other topic that we're going to get into. Now, some people don't like to talk about some things, but I'm going to tell you, I don't care. The uncomfortable topics is what we're going to talk about because those are the things that people need to grow up and have them. We need to create safe spaces for everybody to talk. Because if not, then it just keeps making an amendment and one look prettier and prettier every day. Because if you're a cancel culture, like cancel culture, then you're going to cancel yourself. Matter of fact, that's what you can hear from me because you'll be next. Because if you cancel somebody because you didn't like what they said, then get in line. You, you, you're not thinking. When you cancel people or you jump on that, you're getting ready to cancel yourself because you're making it easier for that shit to happen because the people that make that shit actually come to be is us. The horde like thinkers. Oh, cancel him. He shouldn't be on here. Are you tossing and turning at night? Like you can't sleep? No. Get out. You cancel yourself. Cancel your subscription so you can get the fuck off media. People that cancel culture shit is just whack. If you're one of those people, get offline. You probably pee in the bed. It just seems like it's just way overly, just too. Like, go to bed. Are you tossing and turning? Because there's shit you should be worried about. And that ain't like people get and then if you look at the rights of it, what this all comes with, freedom of speech, freedom to think how you want, express yourself. So I don't know why people wasting their time defeating their own, like shooting their own self in the foot. Because while you're expressing how you feel about somebody, you're doing the same shit. You have the right to think. You can't make nobody think like you, even if it sounds horrible. Like, oh my God, I can't believe they said that. Oh my God, I can. All right, that's fine. But you don't get to cancel them. Like I said, cancel yourself. That's what really should be canceled. Because everybody's not going to like what they don't have. You don't. People don't have to like what you say. You don't have to like what people say. You can't. If somebody comes out of their mouth and tells you, let's say they say something nice about somebody you find despicable. You good? Okay, good. It's true. You know how social media online like to do that weird shit. Check this out. It's true. No one has to like what you say. You can say what you want. You're not hurting nobody. Freedom of expression. You can't. You need people need to wake up. People are not going to always say things that appeal to you. So I call those to be dramatic people. People like drama. They go all bent out. I can't believe he said that. I can't believe you're on here talking about it. Go home. Get off the TV. Right? It's true. We sit here and we hear it all the time from people. So stop canceling people because I'm going to tell you to cancel yourself. That's what you should do. Because at the end of the day, half of the people that be on social media talking about it, when they go home, they don't even think about it. They lay down, they're not thinking about it. But they want to get on social media and show the worst parts of themselves of human beings. How come we can't be different? How come we can't use our platform, get on social media and switch that thinking and say something more positive? You know what I mean? Like turn the negative around to positive. But people like to get on social media, especially black people, and be the first ones to shit on somebody. Like, oh shit, move out the way. You don't even have to do it. I'll do it. That nigga ain't shit. You know what I mean? Like the words. I'm like, ugh, you want to throw up from the flow up. Like, do better. Let's do better. Let's be more positive. We can go that route, but we have a choice. So the simple fact that we have a choice, it makes it really sad that we choose that way. So when people come out, I don't care what somebody has said or platform, because you could be the fool. We could be the ones being tested by what's presented. Remember, the world's a stage. You is watching through a screen, so you don't know what you're looking at, just to see how we would be or how we act or how we treat people at the end of the day. And if that's how that treatment for him was just by that right there alone, then that tells you who the real problem is. Yeah, I meant it. It's the people like you and I that sit out here, and it's the spectators that get online or go home and just be saying the most worst things. So be very careful and very mindful. I don't care what church you go to or how close you say you are to God, because the real suspect there. I find that to be very odd when people be the first ones and then sit there and speak of somebody some way. Because I'm tell you right now, well, what would Jesus say? What would he do? And that only pertains to the people that know better. You know what I mean? If you don't believe them, then you just need to just keep walking. Right? Happy to them? No, he wouldn't. Said to love. And we can't even look past, you know what I mean? Because you have to be very mindful. What are you looking at? What are you really hearing? And always remember, be mindful of it. It could always be a test. That's why I say people need to take more accountability for themselves and stop looking at other people and really keep, be aware that you never know. Before you go to bed every night, ask yourself, how have I treated people? Am I really okay with? Think about it. Stay out of people's lane. Stop judging people all the time. I don't care what they said on TV, because you might not have heard what you thought you heard. We're not impressed with your intellectual views of what you came up with when discussing these worldly situations. We're really not. I'm not. I pay attention to the way people treat people. And I listen to the person that's speaking, because it'd be such a horrible feeling to live in a world where you're trying to talk to people and give and tell and talk and nobody believes you. Think about that. Telling the truth or not, just put yourself in somebody's shoes to make sure you're not a person like that, right? And put yourself in somebody's shoes the way this world is. I'll be damned if I be one of those people that sit here and just ready to pick away at people like, I don't care. I don't even do it with the worst of people. For what? What benefits it? Nothing. Not a damn thing, right? So why we do it? Yeah. I don't know. Ask yourself. To talk to yourself more. You might learn some shit. Until next time, my friends. Love you all. Have a blessed evening. Stay open-minded. Don't shut things out. Be willing to do the homework, the research, even if it sounds like the impossible. Because the impossible is the possible.